It's a new era on FC25 and it's a new era at Liverpool, with Klopp gone and the Kop are looking for a new hero to lead them to glory, and luckily that's where I step in. That's right, I'm back to take back the Premier League title and lead Liverpool back to the European Promised Land. So welcome everyone to our very first career mode on FC25 and to my very first day as Liverpool manager. And unfortunately it seems like on my first day I'm walking into a dressing room filled with players who are disillusioned and looking for guidance in Jurgen Klopp's absence. Now, because we've got so close to Manchester City but haven't quite been able to beat them consistently over the last few years, I want to try and shake up some of the playing styles here at Liverpool and try and do something a little bit different. And so that's why we're moving away from this Jurgen Klopp gegenpressing style across to Pep Guardiola's famous tiki-taka. If you can't beat them, join them. And in a bid to try and implement this new playing style and to assert my authority, I'm demanding double training sessions from the players. However, our eyebrows already starting to be raised here at Liverpool about my managerial style, as soon as training finishes, the star player Mo Salah knocks on my door for a quick chat. Look boss, Jurgen's gone and I'm not happy with the new training methods. I feel now is the time for a change for me and I want to leave Liverpool Football Club. There is nothing you can do that's going to change my mind. And once again, in my bid to try and reassert my authority over this team, I make it very clear to him, I'm the boss round here. You'll do as you're told. You've got a year left on your contract and you'll see it out whether you like it or not. And as you can imagine, with Mo bringing in his agent to be an extra witness to our conversation, this has gone down like an absolute lead balloon. And already my worry is that I've got to make sure this doesn't have disastrous consequences for the rest of the squad. He's my star player and naturally I'd love to keep him happy, but I'm the new boss. I've got to lay down the law and show who's in charge. However, with the Egyptian only having 12 months left on his contract and me only having an injury-plagued Federico Chiesa as a backup to him, is this a position that I need to think about a long-term replacement sooner rather than later? Let me know down below in the comments what you think. Speaking of the rest of the squad though, it's no surprise to see that it's actually in pretty decent shape. We've got a world-class goalkeeper in Alisson and an able backup in Kelleher, plus with the Georgian Mamadashvili soon to be joining at the beginning of next season, it's certainly not a position we need to improve. Andy Robertson is clearly the number one left back at the club, but with him being 30 years of age and Tsimikas not really showing much quality, and especially with his contract ending in 12 months, do I need to consider a long-term replacement for the Scotsman? And speaking of long-term replacements, whilst I've got arguably the best central defender in all of world football, Van Dijk, 32 years of age, contract also expiring in 12 months, and with me only having the likes of Joe Gomez, Konate, and of course Konza in reserve, just like the Mohamed Salah situation, do I need to look at this sooner rather than later? Now on the right-hand side of my defence, Connor Bradley is showing some great potential, but arguably there's no better right-back in world football than this man Trent Alexander-Arnold. And with me, and I'm sure the rest of the Kop, seeing him as a potential future Liverpool captain, I have to make sure as my number one priority that I tie down his long-term future at the club. And with him obviously wanting to be a crucial player, happy to have a contract extension of 3 years, and of course delighted to get a nice little salary bump. It's priority number one in the books. Trent Alexander-Arnold signs a new 3-year contract extension that sees the hometown hero continue his journey here at Liverpool Football Club. And with the defence sorted, it's time to move on to midfield. Now Ryan Gravenberch, Curtis Jones and Alexis McAllister all have brilliant quality in the centre of the park, but they're missing one key component, and that's the ability to just sit in front of the defence protected at all costs and make this team tick for 90 minutes. As you can see, I don't think Endo is the answer to my prayers, and that's why I've stuck him on the transfer list. And with me thinking Tyler Morton needs a little bit more first team football before chucking him in at the deep end, he's gone on the loan list. But once again, it feels like a very key position that I'm going to have to prioritise here early doors in season 1. And as for the attacking areas, with the likes of Luis Diaz, the likes of Federico Chiesa, Diogo Jota, Cody Gakpo and of course Darwin Núñez, I feel like we're incredibly well stocked in that department. I guess the only question mark and cloud that's hanging over our heads after my conversation with the Egyptian is exactly what's going to happen to the future of Mo Salah. But with a couple of departures making their way out of Anfield here early doors in season 1, starting off with Tsimikas departing to Newcastle for £8.2 million, and with us getting an offer that's too good to turn down for the central defensive midfielder Endo, as he departs to Chelsea for £14.5 million. Plus youngster Tyler Morton secures that all-important first-team football loan move, saying bye-bye Liverpool and hello Aston Villa for the next season. I've got a feeling that left-back and central midfield are going to be the two key priority positions for me. And now, with a very healthy budget of £144 million to spend, it's time to get down to work to improving this squad. Now, with Martin Zubimendi being transfer target number 1 for Liverpool in real life, I thought it made sense to try and mirror that transfer attempt here on this career mode. However, after easily being able to agree a deal with their manager, despite me welcoming Zubimendi into a 5-star establishment here in Liverpool to try and taste some of the local cuisine, frustratingly he tells me that his love of Real Sociedad is just too strong to be tempted to a move to England, and so instead he decides to throw my offer right back into my face, pay the chef of this establishment absolutely no regard whatsoever, and waste both his, mine, and the chef's time. It's a real slap in the face, and the Spaniard clearly has absolutely no idea who I am or what I've achieved in my career so far. And I've got to be honest, it's an absolutely disastrous start to life as Liverpool boss. However, with the departures of Endo and Tyler Morton on loan, and with his holding midfield position being such a key and pivotal role for Liverpool Football Club, I feel like if I am going to make a decision as to who I'm going to bring in on a permanent transfer, I'm going to need your help to do so. So let me know down in the comments below if any of these players on my shortlist take your fancy, or if there's anyone else you would like to see plying their trade in a Liverpool shirt in that holding midfield position. Let me know down below in the comments what you think. However, with Tsimikas gone and Andy Robertson being the only established senior left back at the club, let's see before the season starts if there is at least one transfer that we can try and get over the line. However, whilst my top target Miguel Gutierrez is the man that I want to bring to the club, with his current club Girona unwilling to negotiate with me and only saying that I can bring him to Liverpool if I pay his £55.5 million release clause. Personally, I think that's way too much to pay for him, and so it looks like I'm not having any luck with Spaniards this episode whatsoever. So instead, with an eye on the future and an eye on trying to preserve as much of my transfer budget as I can to bring in a big name central defensive midfielder, I've decided to plumb for a young left back who might not be someone who can compete with him in season 1, but could well be a long-term replacement for him as the career mode progresses, because that is right, I've decided to raid France for a left back and a Frenchman who's been lighting up the French league in Melvin Bard, as he joins from Nice for 14.5 million. Now I know he's a signing that may not raise the heart rate of a lot of the Liverpool fans, but I think it is a sensible and realistic option, and someone who I think could be a very decent understudy to this man Andy Robertson. And with the team locked and loaded and the fans ready ahead of our first pre-season game of this new season, I've just got to hope that the lack of new signings coming through the door here at Anfield is not going to disrupt what I'm hoping is going to be a positive start to the season. Melvin Bard's already showing that he can put in a couple of decent crosses, and Diogo Jota's already showing that he's getting in a couple of decent positions, even if he hasn't quite found his shooting boots yet. But with some gaping holes in our midfield and are still giving up some huge chances, it just goes to show just how important that holding midfield position is going to be. And if the wild finishing of Mo Salah's anything to go by, it looks like his head is still not in the right place. And with 85 minutes played and my attack being fairly toothless and us conceding a goal with just 5 minutes left to play, it ended up finishing 1-0 at full time, which is not the start I was hoping for, but I've kind of got an idea as to why. Because whilst I may have changed our tactical setup from gegenpressing to tiki-taka, I haven't really given our formation or any other tactical tweaks much of a look. Now long term, I'd probably prefer to play with 3 in midfield, but with that holding midfielder. But because I haven't quite managed to bring that profile in yet, I think I'm going to have to stick with Gravenberch and McAllister in those 2 central midfield roles. However, I am going to push up my defensive line to mirror what Liverpool do in real life, and that is to press as high as they possibly can. And I'm also going to make sure that Mo Salah is not set up as a winger. He's more of an inside forward, so he can make those darting runs that he's so famous for. It looks like Van Dijk is set up to be just a plain old defender. Well, that's got to change. His role of being a ball-playing defender, bringing the ball out from the back, is going to be absolutely pivotal to all of our attacks. But most importantly, I want everything to go through this man, Dominic Szoboszlai. I see him as the future of my midfield. He's going to be my playmaker. And I've just got to hope that those tactical tweaks are going to make all the difference as I head into my very first press conference as Liverpool manager ahead of our first game of the season, where I'm going to issue a rallying cry to all of my team that I think we can go all the way and win the Premier League title this season. If we're going to do so though, we've got to make sure that we don't take newly promoted Ipswich too lightly as we head away from home for match day 1, my first competitive match as boss of Liverpool Football Club, and hopefully we can claim an all-important 3 points. Here's the starting 11. As you can see, no major changes with new signing Bard on the bench. Let's get down to business. Here we go then, the sun is beaming down. It's a wonderful time to be a Liverpool fan here. A new season dawns and a new opportunity of silverware once again. But once again, seemingly we're under the cosh a little bit here in the opening 5 minutes. Ipswich Town playing some wonderful football, but Gravenberch with a fabulous challenge brings the ball away. Now we've got the opportunity for a counter-attack here with Diogo Jota playing a lovely ball into Mo Salah, who took it on beautifully. Mo Salah has a player across in Luis Diaz, but he can't find him. That was a big chance and one that we didn't take, but hopefully we're going to be carving Ipswich open once again as Luis Diaz looks to try and play it across, this time back into Mo Salah, but he takes it on himself instead, and with the rebounding header nods it wide. Well, that's 2 big chances we've had so far, and 2 big chances we have not taken, and at the moment Ipswich once again are coming at our goal like a rate of knots. That's a lovely ball in. They've got a ball through here, and it does not matter because Jack Clark, the new Ipswich signing, doesn't even need the ball across because he's found the near post, and Alisson, the best goalkeeper in the world, has been beaten when he absolutely should not have been. Oh, it's a shocking start to my newfound reign as Liverpool manager. My defence opened up at will, and he cannot be beaten from there. That is so poor. Question marks have to be raised here from Alisson. Oh my goodness, it's absolutely terrible, and it's 1-0 Ipswich Town. Well, I said we had two big opportunities, and I said we didn't take them, and my word, they've come back to bite us here. My midfield cut through like a knife through butter, defensively so poor. We've got to do better. It's Szoboszlai who wins the ball back high up the pitch here, gives it to Gravenberch. Luis Diaz on the turn, looking for Jota, finds Jota, but Jota cannot quite find the angle to get a shot away, so instead runs to the edge of the box, looks for the cut back into Luis Diaz, shapes up to strike on his right, straight at the goalkeeper though. It's the lap for Ipswich, back out to the goal scorer Jack Clark, full of confidence, and look at him looking to take on, I should say, Alexander-Arnold. Can't quite get past him though. Good defending from the man, fresh off his new contract, full of confidence and full of beans, as Gravenberch picks it up in the centre of the park, plays it into Luis Diaz. My attack hasn't quite clicked into gear so far, but looking to change that right now with Mo Salah over the top. Can't reach him. But Hutchinson for Ipswich. Lovely turn away from Robertson there, and that's a wonderful ball into the box. Oh my goodness, what a brilliant header from Delap. And I was fortunate that it was straight into the arms of Alisson, who palmed it away. We've got even more fortunate because he just strayed offside. But my goodness, it's another fabulous opportunity for Ipswich. Goodness me, it's been an absolutely shocking 35 minutes here to start off this game. We had two great opportunities and that we didn't take them, and since then we've totally and utterly fallen apart. We've not been able to carve through any other opportunities. We've got to make a change to that here, and Luis Diaz is looking like he can be the man to try and do so. Plays the ball into Mo Salah, but it's a low block here from Ipswich that we just can't quite seem to break down. The Egyptian though, taking it on himself, looking to line it up with his left. Too easy for the goalkeeper though. As we begin the second half here, things not going according to plan whatsoever. Shell-shocked, I think, is the only word to describe exactly how both I and the fans and perhaps even the players are feeling at the moment. 1-0 down away from home against newly promoted Ipswich. I don't think anyone would have expected that. Alexander-Arnold though looking to make a change, plays it into Jota. Jota though waiting for the run of Luis Diaz, I think it was. And in the end gives it away. Ipswich playing some really nice football here in the centre of the park, but McAllister wins it back in a good position, plays it into Szoboszlai. I'm expecting a lot more from the Hungarian in the second half here, and he's looking to try and see if he can provide a lot more here. Lovely ball into Mo Salah, the cutback's on, blocked corner. Trent is of course going to be the man to take the resulting corner, flings it into the box, looks for Gravenberch on the head, it almost fell to Luis Diaz at the back post. Salah's picked it up, and the referee blows. It looks like it's going to be a foul. But we're struggling. We're really struggling here to carve open and to create any clear-cut opportunities against this Ipswich team that are holding firm defensively. We're pressurising, but the pressure is just not good enough as they play out from the back beautifully. And they just go through my midfield and my attack, and they even go through my defence. It's a lovely ball down the channel. Andy Robertson's nowhere to be seen. Delap throws it into the box to the back post, and luckily enough for me, it doesn't reach anyone. It's Alexander-Arnold though, who plays it into the path of Mo Salah, looking to try and see if he can carve out any opportunity here. The Egyptian takes it on with his left. Great save from the goalkeeper. It's been our best chance of the game so far. But with 75 minutes on the clock and my attack really not clicking into gear, I'm making a triple change. I'm hooking all of them. What difference can my three substitutes make with 15 minutes left on the clock? Alexander-Arnold out to Chiesa for his first touch in a Liverpool shirt. It's a nice touch and turn away from the defender. Has he got the pace now to burst down and burst clear down this right hand side? He does. Looking to fling it in. He does fling it in. Looking for Cody Gakpo at the back post. The keeper though is out, and he's big and he's strong and he wins the ball well. Gakpo pressing high, but to no avail. The goalkeeper has it. They play it short. They're just toying with us here, Ipswich, showing that they've got absolutely no fear with life in the Premier League, as we just can't quite get the ball off them. The referee is looking at his clock here. So are the Ipswich fans. I put a challenge in. They're making a very late sub here in a bid to try and wind down the clock. We are looking absolutely helpless. We're looking on. There's absolutely nothing we can do to get the ball back. Eventually Gravenberch does, and then goes and gives it away again. Ipswich on the edge of my box here. My player's nowhere to be seen. Into the box goes Jack Clark, takes it on straight at Alisson, but the referee blows for full time. Well, it's an absolute horror show, a disaster away from home, and a shocking way to begin our opening game of this campaign. Alisson looks to the floor. It's got to be argued that potentially it's his fault after some shocking goalkeeping in the early part of the first half. As at full time, Ipswich claim a historic 3 points, 1-0. I mean, it's an absolute disaster and most certainly not the result we wanted. This team looked all over the shop, it must be said. I've lost my one and only pre-season game. I've lost my opening game of the Premier League campaign. I've arguably fallen out with the best and star player at Liverpool Football Club in Mo Salah. And the best goalkeeper in the world is having absolute howlers. McAllister and Gravenberch were okay, but that holding midfield role is a real issue for me. It was just too easy for Ipswich to carve their way through my midfield and defence. But with our first home game of the season up next against Brentford, let's hope we can bounce back immediately. I'm making one change to that team that lost against Ipswich. Cody Gakpo comes in on the left-hand side to see if he can ignite any sort of creativity into a lacklustre attack. One thing I will say though about this game, I'm not sure if anyone else has noticed this so far, it seems like it's a lot faster. The gameplay is absolutely electric, end-to-end stuff, and I'm really struggling to keep up with it at the moment. I'm used to a lot slower gameplay on FC24, and I want to use that as an excuse here. Oh my goodness, as Brentford hit the bar, and they've got it once again here. It's Lacazette in the box. Oh my goodness, the former Arsenal man has absolutely slapped at a goal on the edge of the box, top left bins, and once again has left the Liverpool crowd absolutely shell-shocked. I'll tell you what, it's only the third game so far, to be fair, that I've played on this new FC25, but I am struggling big time. It's really, really quick in comparison to FC24, and my players can't quite keep up to speed. 1-0 Brentford. Jota, though, plays it into the path of Gakpo, and the new left winger is going to hope to try and see if he can make a difference here that Luis Diaz couldn't as he cuts it back. I was looking for Mo Salah. Really good piece of play from the Dutchman. Brentford have it once again. Lacazette, the goal scorer from distance. Oh my goodness, he's got the bit between his teeth. He's got that confidence after his wonderful earlier goal. Right again from exactly the same place. Tried to do exactly the same thing this time. He was inches wide. Nice little pass into Trent Alexander-Arnold. If anything's going to come, it's got to come through the Englishman here. Diogo Jota picks it up on the left-hand side, gives it to Cody Gakpo, who's going to try and see if he can do another lung-bursting run into the box. Lovely little touch and turn away from the defender. Shifts it onto his right, forces the keeper into his first real save of the game. Well, that's more like it, and everything positive so far has come through Cody Gakpo. He almost created a good opportunity, and he almost scored another one. Well, that's much better from Liverpool, and Diogo Jota has won the ball back in a really good position. Oh, he's put it wide. De Silva for Brentford tries to play it over the top, looking to go past Trent Alexander-Arnold, but good defending once again from the Englishman. McAllister with a lovely turn away from the defender. Andy Robertson now to try and see if he can run forward here and try and play a ball into Jota, but loses it in a really good position. Van Dijk, though, storming out of defence, wins the ball back high. That's exactly what I want from the big Dutchman. Diogo Jota, we're just trying to see if we can turn the screw and just up the tempo a little bit here, as Cody Gakpo once again on his right, looks to try and line up a shot, forces the keeper into another big save. This is better, much better from Liverpool, looking a little bit more likely to try and see if we can find the net here for the first time in his career mode, as Canate nods it over. Well, once again, we begin a second half 1-0 down in the Premier League, and with it absolutely all to do after a bit of a disappointing opening 45. Mo Salah, still poor, still giving the ball away. Mo Salah has it again though, into Szoboszlai. Szoboszlai looking for a ball into Cody Gakpo, and once again the Dutchman skipping away from one challenge but can't skip away from two. And again, we cannot seem this attack to click, and we can't seem to find the back of the net at the moment, but it's a good ball into Jota. This is the chance. Jota in the box. Jota puts it wide again. And having missed two big chances, that's it. I'm hooking him off. Darwin Núñez is coming on. We've got to do something here. Gravenberch again. Out to Robinson. Half an hour left on the clock here for us to try and see if we can do anything here to find the back of the net. We've had decent chances, it must be said, but we just haven't been able to take them. A real lack of quality so far in this game, as Mo Salah goes all the way out to the right-hand side, looking for a little bit more space. Not too much space though. Plays it into Darwin Núñez with his first touch. Looks to dink it across to the back post of Cody Gakpo. Got his header all wrong. Another big chance. McAllister into Trent Alexander-Arnold. Lovely little touch and turn from Mo Salah. This time he's going to dink it across, looking for the big man in Alexander-Arnold, though. I thought it was going to be Darwin Núñez. What on earth is my right back doing in the penalty spot instead of Darwin Núñez? I'll tell you what, though, one thing I am absolutely loving in spite of the scoreline is the weather conditions and how they can have such an adverse effect to the game. But at the moment, oh my goodness, we're having an adverse effect with our own defending. Once again, we are opened up at will. And this time it's Lacazette who totally takes us apart. Absolutely shocking once again. Let's have a look at the replay. It's a POV camera. It's played across. And once again, the former Arsenal man will be absolutely delighted to get his second goal. It's played through my defence though. How easy is this for Brentford to get their second goal of the game? And we now find ourselves 2-0 down. Well, what I was trying to say before that absolutely shocking goal was how I'm liking these adverse weather conditions, about how the pitch is starting to get waterlogged, and it really has an impact on the passing here. Something that I'm really enjoying so far. But what I'm not enjoying is the fact that we cannot seem to find the back of the net. Looking once again, and with with passes like that. I mean, it's an absolute shocking start to the season. And Mbeumo now for Brentford, looking to try and see if he can put the final nail in the coffin here, and he's gone past two of my defenders, and he bursts into the penalty area here. He's waiting for the ball across. Trent Alexander-Arnold with a big header. What is happening here at Liverpool? Into Chiesa. Chiesa waiting for the run of Darwin Núñez, gets the run of Darwin Núñez. The ball is not good enough though. It's too easy for Brentford to clear away, and once again deep into stoppage time, we are looking like we're about to lose our second Premier League game on the bounce, as now the referee looks to his watch, and Mbeumo with a lovely turn away from Alisson. It falls to Risa, and just like that, Brentford get a third, and once again it's a historic loss, this time at Anfield. Absolutely shocking. There's nothing else left to say about it. Defensively, we've been totally and utterly woeful so far this season. I mean, Alisson can't quite believe it. He looks on in despair. The Brentford players celebrate, and I can totally understand why. An absolute landslide victory for the London club as it finishes here at full time 3-0. Well, forget the holding midfielder. I think I need a completely brand new team. My attack has been shocking. My defence has been absolutely shocking, and quite frankly, I don't know what to do. Let me know down below in the comments what you do to try and rectify the situation. Do I need a complete formation change? Do I need to bring in some more quality and some extra personnel into this team? Or do I need to just accept that I'm absolutely shocking at FC 25? Because that is going to be that for the end of today's episode. Thank you everyone for watching. I'm aiming to get 50 likes for this episode 1, so if you could do that, I would really, really appreciate it. Thanks everyone for watching. I'll see you again next time.